War has been a defining force in human history, shaping empires, cultures, and even the way we live today. But how did it evolve from chaotic clashes of swords and shields to the cold precision of drones and cyber warfare? It's not just about weapons, it's about the strategies, ingenuity, and human resilience behind them. From the disciplined ranks of Roman legions to modern AI-driven battles, warfare has undergone a transformation unlike anything else in history. In this video, we'll explore how tactics and technologies have evolved over millennia, uncovering the stories of triumph and tragedy that changed the way we fight. And here's the kicker. Many of the strategies we use today are rooted in ancient times. So stay with us as we embark on this journey through the ages of warfare and discover how the lessons of the past still guide the future of battle. Let's go back thousands of years to a time when battles were fought up close and personal. The Romans, for example, didn't just rely on brute strength. Their success came from discipline and strategy. Their famous testudo, or tortoise formation, turned soldiers into a moving fortress, almost impervious to enemy arrows. Meanwhile, the Greeks mastered the phalanx, a tight-knit wall of spears that could break through almost any opposing force. These formations weren't just impressive, they were revolutionary, proving that coordination and strategy could triumph over sheer numbers. But not all ancient armies fought with discipline alone. The Mongols introduced something entirely new: speed and mobility. Their horseback archers could travel vast distances, strike quickly, and retreat before their enemies even knew what hit them. This combination of agility and firepower made them one of the most feared military forces in history. Ancient warfare wasn't just about who had the sharpest sword, it was about who could outthink their opponent. And those lessons are still studied by military leaders to this day. The Middle Ages brought dramatic changes to the battlefield. It was the age of knights, castles, and siege warfare, where technology and tactics began to play an even larger role. Castles became the ultimate defensive structures, towering over the landscape, while engineers developed siege engines like catapults, trebuchets, and battering rams to bring them down. Every battle became a calculated game of attack and defense, where innovation was key to victory. One of the most significant innovations was the longbow. At the Battle of Agincourt, the English used this weapon to devastating effect, cutting down waves of French knights despite being vastly outnumbered. It was a reminder that skill and the right tools could change the outcome of a battle, even against superior forces. The Middle Ages were a time when war became as much about engineering and strategy as it was about courage and strength. The battlefield was no longer just a place for brute force, it was a proving ground for new ideas. Quick reminder, if you're enjoying this, please don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps us out and enables us to keep the content coming. Many thanks in advance. Gunpowder changed everything. With the advent of cannons and muskets, the days of castles and knights were numbered. Fortifications that had stood for centuries were suddenly vulnerable, and armies could now be equipped with firearms, making battles deadlier and more decisive than ever before. The focus shifted from small elite forces to large, organized armies capable of delivering overwhelming firepower. Napoleon Bonaparte epitomized the power of this new era. His use of artillery was unmatched, combining concentrated fire with rapid troop movements to outflank and overwhelm his enemies. Napoleon didn't just rely on firepower, he used gunpowder weapons as tools of precision, applying strategy to create chaos in enemy ranks. The gunpowder revolution wasn't just about explosions, it was about the fusion of technology and strategy, which turned war into a more complex and devastating enterprise. It set the stage for the industrialized wars of the 20th century. The 20th century brought an explosion of technological advancements that transformed the battlefield. Tanks thundered across no man's land, airplanes turned the skies into a new front for combat, and submarines brought stealth to the oceans. The scale and intensity of warfare reached unprecedented levels during the World Wars, with entire nations mobilizing their economies and populations to fight. Machine guns, chemical weapons, and, ultimately, nuclear bombs redefined what war could mean, not just for soldiers but for humanity as a whole. And now, we live in the age of digital warfare. Drones fly missions that once required entire squadrons, guided by operators thousands of miles away. Cyber attacks target infrastructure, taking down systems without a single shot being fired. The battlefield has become global, instantaneous, and in some ways invisible. Yet, despite all these advances, the principles of strategy, adaptability, and leadership, lessons that date back to ancient times, remain as critical as ever. Modern warfare may look different, but its roots are deeply connected to the past. As we look at the evolution of warfare, one thing becomes clear. Innovation has always been the driving force. From the phalanx to the drone, every new tactic and technology has pushed the boundaries of what's possible. But as we enter an era of AI and robotics, new questions arise. Will the battlefield become fully automated with decisions made by machines? Or will the human element remain indispensable, even in the face of advanced technology? History teaches us that every leap in warfare has come with both opportunities and dangers. While some advancements have brought precision and efficiency, others have increased the scale of destruction. Perhaps the greatest challenge of the future isn't creating better tools for war, it's finding ways to avoid conflict altogether. What role will humanity play in the wars of tomorrow? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this journey through the history of warfare, don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories that connect the past to the present and beyond.